Greetings everyone, Brett here with Hammerhead Model Making, and we're back with another 5-minute review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 148 scale FA-50 Fighting Eagle from Academy. This is an aircraft flown by the Republic of Korean Air Force, and this was another impulse buy at the hobby shop. I passed by this, saw the box art, and even though the box art's, somewhat, I'm not going to say dull, just not terribly exciting. It caught my eye, and I've never really heard of this aircraft before. And I was kind of curious to see what the kit was, and if it would be something that was, it would be an interesting subject that doesn't fall within my normal wheelhouse of building. The kit appears to be quite nice in its surface detailing. Definitely what I would say like modern Academy. You can see here like these vents here are very nice, very deep, recessed details. Underside looks like it's using slide molding technology because we're getting like good consistent rivets all along the radius of the underside of the fuselage plus the sides. So it's like they're definitely utilizing some very modern technology here, and I find the surface detail like just in that sweet spot of not too deep but not so shallow that a layer of paint's going to make it disappear, but it's not like trench like panel lines and things that you'd find on some Airfix kits. So I definitely think this kit is in the right direction. There's a couple of points here I'm going to show in just a moment here that I think could work against it, and that is mainly a lot of the inside surfaces, like you can see here the speed brakes here and the landing gear doors have quite a lot of ejector pin marks, and they're unfortunate because those are very visible places. Now, inside of the intakes, a little less visible, but nevertheless, like there's a lot of unfortunately placed ejector pin markings on this kit in areas that could possibly be visible. For example, we have like these bulkheads here that go inside the wheel well. One side is fine, other side has ejector pin marks, and not like one of them, quite a few of them. Ejector pin marks on the inside surfaces of the exhaust area. Here's the main intake area. You can see the ejector pin marks there. And now the intakes, there's a argument to be made. Those are buried pretty deeply, and they probably won't be seen, but they're there. Cockpit detailing looks pretty nice. Not like super detail, but enough to keep it busy and looking somewhat populated. So that's nice. A lot of the parts kind of have like a bit of a grainy texture to them. Kind of interesting, but to the touch they feel quite smooth. The ejection seats are multi-parts and look to be fairly nice. You don't get any kind of seatbelt detail, either in decal or otherwise, but the rest of the cockpit looks pretty decent. You actually do get 2 crew entry ladders to put on the side of the aircraft, which is always like that's something I definitely appreciate. You also get 2 pilot figures, which both appear to have unique arms, so you can kind of like one's giving like a thumbs up pose, which is kind of cool. The figures look really nice, and those are definitely a welcome inclusion. You get a matched pair of sprues here for the weapons, and in the weapons you get drop tanks, GBU-12s, AIM-9s, a Maverick, and then I'm not quite sure of the designation, but it's one of the newer glide bomb type munitions. And AIM-120, so definitely looks pretty nice. You get some options here for the loadout, and you can kind of load it up how you want. You do get a centerline tank as well as wing tanks. Clear parts, pretty nice. Decent seam line on the main canopy here. That's not to be unexpected though. Bit of warping going on in there, but otherwise pretty nice. It actually has really nice surface detailing around the framing and everything. The front windscreen is like spotless, crystal clear, no warpage at all. Lots of clear parts in this, lots of formation lights. HUD, you do get 2 alternate instrument panels in clear, so you could have some fun possibilities with like lighting effects with those if you chose. It's interesting. You get clear part for the sniper pod, which does come included. Decals, you get separate decals for all the instruments. I know this can be a pain, but I definitely prefer this than like 1 or 2 large decals trying to conform to all the irregularities of an instrument panel. Decals look really nice, very tight carrier film. Full markings for all the weapons, so that's awesome. You do get a set of canopy masks and wheel masks. Seems like Academy is doing this more and more often in their kits, which is nice. Take a quick look at the instructions. I do not like the instructions because they are like the fold-out type. I definitely prefer the more booklet type, but that's a nitpick. Overall, they appears to be logically set up and straightforward in its order. So nothing that really stood out to me as like a gotcha moment. And it does not come with a good munitions guide on where each thing goes, so you'll have to check your references for those. You do get 5 different sets of markings, but they're all pretty much the same aircraft, just with different tail numbers. So anyways, yeah, it looks like a fascinating kit. Definitely something I want to try and get on the workbench at some point, and a little bit something different for what I normally do. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all on the next video. Final shout out to the patrons. Thank you. Bye.